Hey everyone, it's Victor here, and welcome to Scott Trans. Now before we get going, just let me apologise, I'm a bit out of sorts at the moment, so if I haven't got the same amount of energy that I usually have, that's why, so I apologise. This week's topic is how we deal with genital dysphoria as transgender people. Now this can be a very individual thing. Some trans people do not experience genital dysphoria whatsoever. But for those of us who do, there are a number of solutions. Obviously I am again speaking from a trans-masculine standpoint because that's all I know. And so personally I choose to pack. And what packing is basically having a bulge. Now packers can come in many different shapes and sizes, and many of them do different things, as you can imagine. Some of them work basically just as a bulge, and you can't do anything with it, you can't pee through it or anything like that. But you can get more functional packers and prosthetics. So you can purchase packers that are fit for your specific want and purpose. The packer I use for everyday wear is a Fleshlight soft packer, and that basically functions as a bulge. It does nothing else. But for me that gives me confidence, and that just alleviates my genital dysphoria. It's very interesting talking about people's individual stories of genital dysphoria, because I've met a lot of trans people who don't experience it at all, and others that only experience it if they're out in public or, meeting up with friends and things like that. But for me, I have to pack for my own comfort. I experience genital dysphoria just all the time. I can't really escape it. For other people, they can go about their business just around in the house wearing their pajamas and not really think about it, not feel uncomfortable. But for me, I can't do that. I have to pack for as long as I can. So my packer really helps me a lot. It makes my life so much easier. I've gained so much confidence from packing. So I'll put a link in the description to the packer that I use, and also I'll give a link to some STPs, which are more functioning packers for going to the bathroom, things like that. So there's a link in the description for you there. Another budget way of packing can be to use socks. This is if you want to kind of try it out, see if it's right for you, because that's what I did to begin with. So basically, take a sock and roll it up inside itself, like that, so that you have that, basically. It's kind of like a bulge, really. And then if you can attach this to the inside of your boxers, with safety pins on the outside, not on the inside, safety pins on the outside, be very careful when you're doing this. So that can basically be attached in your boxers, and that can function as a soft packer. It's obviously not as good as the built-for-purpose packers, but if you are struggling for money, can't afford one, or you just want to see if packing is right for you, see if it makes you feel more comfortable, try the sock method to begin with. Keeping a packer in place can be very difficult, and this is fraught with many embarrassments, as a lot of trans-masculine people who do pack have experienced. So you can get harnesses for packers, which go kind of underneath your boxers, you wear them, and then the packer fits at the front there. So I can put a link to those as well, if that's helpful. I don't personally use a harness. To me they've always looked very uncomfortable. I've actually never tried one, but I probably should at some point. Another thing you can do is get specially made underwear, which has a kind of pocket in it where you put your packer in, and that keeps it in place as well. They are quite expensive though, so you'd have to buy quite a lot of pairs of underwear. So yeah, it can be quite expensive. That's why I don't do that either. I actually don't have any specially made boxers for my packer. Most people tend to just put the packer in their boxers and hope for the best. If you feel it slipping down your leg, something's gone wrong. But I got a little bit sick of having to do that, and I wanted to come up with my own solution. So you may ask, Victor, how exactly do you keep your packer in place? And I will tell you. It is the two boxers method. So, as you can imagine, this method of keeping your packer in place involves wearing two pairs of boxers. So, you put your first pair of boxers on, all fine and dandy, get your packer, get your other pair of boxers, slip the next pair of boxers on, and fit your packer in between those two pairs of boxers so that it keeps it in place. Now, obviously you need to have boxers which are relatively tight to do this. You can't use the kind of flouncy, airy ones. So unfortunately no pantaloons. Sorry. I had to give up my pantaloon collection because I started packing. So the 2 boxers method has helped me greatly and is a much more comfortable way of packing, and that's what I use every day. Now make sure you watch everyone else's videos on this topic for this week and all the other videos for every other single topic as well, if you haven't already. But I hope that has been helpful for you. I hope what I have to say has somehow added to your life. I'm sorry I had to take your pantaloons away from you. That sounds wrong, but I'm gonna roll with it. So for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next Sunday.